So, Brian,
Yes.
you are a man of culture, yes?
Of course.
Have you heard of a intellectual property called Star Wars?
No.
Ah, you
No,
see, it's
I'm
about
sorry.
these wars.
And I
that
bet you
happen-
can't fucking guess where they happen.
They happen among the stars.
10 out of 10.
So when I'm looking for creepypastas for my little segment here, I love bad creepypastas with all of my heart. One of my favorite things to do is to add a beloved intellectual property onto the end of that Google search and just, skip to page 12 and see what happens.
Awesome.
Because the surface stuff isn't going to do anything for me at this point. I'm in too deep.
Yeah, you're desensitized to the base level creepypastas.
Yeah, it's a gateway creepypasta situation where now I'm addicted to the big boy creepypasta that you have to get on the dark web.
No matter what this one is about, this episode is now called Big Boy Creepypastas.
Yeah. So I found this absolute gem on the SCP wiki.
Oh, wait, this
Somehow.
is SCP?
Not really.
Okay.
It is. It has user submitted SCPs and things like that. But there's also some creepypastas and anomalies to discuss.
Is this formatted in an SCP style? We should probably
to a degree.
SCP is it's a fake database for anomalous objects and creatures and stuff, and it's got a very specific kind of notational style that reads like reports and stuff.
But
So
yeah,
this means quality to me, because SCP always been top tier quality for me.
Yeah.
Massive expectations I have for this one.
That's hilarious that SCP means quality to you, because usually the user sourced SCPs are absolutely terrible,
Maybe it's because I've only read the ones that have to do with the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, those tend to be the best ones, actually. So, that makes sense. This was posted on November 6, 2012.
Ooh, good year.
On a Tuesday at 5:28 p.m.
A fine vintage.
by a man named Sergeant Bones. So, there's that.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a wild guess as to what this is called? Because you're never gonna get it, and I just want you to know how out of left field this is.
Okay, so I have no idea what it's about.
Yes.
But it's by a man named Sergeant Bones. It's an SCP
Relating to Star Wars.
Okay, I'm gonna guess just based on SCP naming conventions. SCP 19
Doesn't have a number.
Okay. I think it's called The Last Star War.
Uh-huh.
Colon.
Well,
Chewie's Revenge.
ooh, I like that. That's a
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
that I want to see.
Yeah.
No, this one is simply called I Man.
Excuse me? That has not a goddamn thing to do with Star Wars.
Yup. I Man.
Okay, alright. So let's see how the I Man plays into George Lucas's wonderful sandbox.
The original trilogy of Star Wars films has spawned one of the most dedicated and passionate fan bases of all time, and what sets this particular pack of nerds apart from the others is the borderline obsessive documenting and cataloging of every extra or background character who appears on screen.
Okay, hilarious that this is coming from an SCP thing.
Yes. Well,
People
and
in glass
also-
houses, I feel.
Also, very similar to the Marvel creepypasta that we had, immediate intro about this is what this fandom's
Yeah,
about.
it starts out as kind of like the boilerplate opening paragraph to a review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad that I am talking about this band of nerds right now with only one half of my band of nerds that tell me shit about Star Wars I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, Nolan's abstaining from this one because we think it's probably because he wrote this. But
I think he's embarrassed.
He doesn't feel comfortable digging into I-Man today, so that's fair.
Yeah.
He is still chained to the desk though, so he's just sitting very quietly about 3 feet to the right of me.
He's got one of those sleep masks on and like some noise canceling headphones. He's chilling.
Yeah, but you can tell he's awake and that one of those headphones is just a little cracked open.
Yeah, it's a little bit of whispering in there.
Yeah.
So, every character, regardless of screen time or plot relevance, has earned themselves a name, a fictional backstory, and sometimes, if the design is visually intriguing enough, an action figure and fan art. But there's one character you wouldn't find on a Wikipedia page. Price exorbitantly high in a collector's guide or lurking in the background, and if you do, God help you.
If you find this Wikipedia article, God help you.
The next paragraph just starts with, I-Man, period. It's a name unfamiliar to even the most knowledgeable of Star Wars fans, but mention it to the small collective who are aware of I-Man's non-existence, and their faces will light up with a unique mixture of passion, weariness, and fear.
Ooh, I wouldn't really call that a face lighting up, but sure. Yeah.
That's a very contorted, confused face.
Weariness, fear, and passion.
Each account is as personal as the next, but every one of them is laced with a bitter sense of self-doubt delivered with the cadence of a wizened storytellers telling a story for the 1,000th time.
What the fuck?
My favorite thing about bad creepypastas is the way that they're written like an essay that needs more words.
It absolutely.
When you're trying to hit the word count.
Absolutely. It also, I just love the idea that they're trying to convey this like old hermits in the mountains who know of this I-Man, and there's only like 4 of them, but you can't have that and the word Wikipedia in the same paragraph. Yes. It
and
just
also
doesn't
be
play.
About Star Wars, and also your character's name is I-Man.
I-Man. That's a name I've not heard in a long time.
How dare you trek up this mountain to speak to me of I-Man.
It's when Rey gets to Luke on the mountain or whatever. He's just like, tell me about the I-Man.
And he's just like, absolutely not. Stabs her with a lightsaber. I-Man is the name given to a background character who supposedly appeared in the original theatrical cut of the 1983 film Return of the Jedi.
Okay. So he got special editioned out. Gotcha.
His design is consistent. Don't know what that means.
It was well maintained.
A large muscle-bound cyclops covered in hair and a burlap sack.
Wait, where's the sack?
He's covered in it, apparently.
He's head to toe covered in a sack. But take our word for it. Under there, he is a cyclops.
He is a cyclops.
And he's jacked.
Well, he's not a cyclops. He's I-Man.
Okay, sorry.
Compared to other extras in the Jabba's palace sequence, I-Man is uncharacteristically simple. He's not a puppet or an elaborate animatronic, nor does he sport the colorful or imaginative design motifs of other palace denizens. By all means, I-Man is out of place, and rightfully so, because I-Man may not exist.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm with you so far.
Every I-Man account starts out the same.
Okay, cool, great.
It's like a fucking Bigfoot sighting, but you're just watching Return of the Jedi. A young boy between the ages of 5 to 9 watches Return of the Jedi in theaters after months of anticipation. That's very specific.
Okay.
They enjoy the film, but become particularly vested in the various aliens and creatures inhabiting Jabba's palace, specifically the Cyclops. The roles that I-Man supposedly fills in the films vary between accounts, but only add to the intrigue of this mythology. Some claim he only stood in the background alongside other extras, with brief focus shots like the ones given to other extras. Others remember a scene where I-Man accosts protocol droid C-3PO, who is acting as Jabba the Hutt's translator. I-Man proceeds to brutally dismember C-3PO as Jabba the Hutt.
All right.
Jabba and the palace denizens cheer on.
Cheer?
Some catching pieces of the droid's plating that fly through the air as the Cyclops continues his assault on the droid.
How does the movie continue that? Okay, one, fair. If I was in that crowd, I would also probably applaud. But how does the movie then pick up past that point?
You know, don't worry about it.
Yeah, that cut is about 40 minutes longer.
Cut.
Yeah, you're right. It should be preserved for artistic merit.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The alien takes time to chew on the droid's wires before unceremoniously ripping C-3PO's head off with his mouth and swallowing. This lasts for an extended period of time with no musical score and is never referenced again.
Does he just never come back? Is he just not in the movie after that?
It's apparently never referenced again.
Because he's pretty important.
He's just dead.
Okay.
The film proceeds as normal, with C-3PO apparently being reconstructed by the next scene. As if nothing had happened.
Alright, that's fair.
In the weeks that follow, witnesses become fixated on the creature, with I-Man receiving the same fearful curiosity children often exhibit towards movie monsters, but that would soon change. Attempts to bring up the scary Cyclops in Jabba's palace to peers, even the ones that were present at the same showing, result in confusion. Accounts detailing C-3PO's scene are laughed off the playground, and I-Man witnesses learn not to talk about their secret obsession.
My strange addiction.
My strange I-Man. Witnesses draw pictures of I-Man. I mean, this literally just sounds like me when I was a kid, seeing Goku and being like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, getting bullied for being like, what's a Goku? And then drawing pictures of Goku in my spare time.
I also just love the idea that these, like, little kids saw I-Man just brutally dismember C-3PO for what I assume was hours, and then came out of it like, yeah, that was fucking rad.
Like, I'm gonna draw pictures of this guy in my 3rd grade notebook.
Yeah, I'm gonna draw some fan art on this dude.
Witnesses draw pictures of I-Man, incorporate the creatures into their play sessions, and open every pack of Topps trading cards, hoping to get a glimpse of their one-eyed muse in the same way that they only had other background characters.
My one-eyed muse.
As time goes on, I-Man creeps into their subconscious, usually in the back of their minds, always in their dreams.
Every night.
No one ever forgets the dreams.
Oh my god, that sounds suggestive, I feel.
The progression of the I-Man dreams varies between accounts. That's a good sentence.
That is one of the greatest sentences I've ever heard.
I'm really glad I got to say it. But certain attributes remain consistent. They take place in a dark and seemingly infinite location, like a forest or a basement. I would like to point out that forests and basements usually aren't infinite.
Yeah, I would say a basement especially is incredibly not infinite.
It is incredibly finite, if anything.
Yeah.
There's a nauseating sense of fear and dread. Other children are present.
Okay.
That's... Cool. No other detail on that. Sounds great. Simple actions like walking or running become near impossible, limbs feeling like they've been tied to cinder blocks. I-Man is always present, hiding behind trees, doors, or in the background.
So he's bashful.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
He's a little shy guy.
Yeah.
He only has one eye, but he still bats his eyelashes when he come by,
you know? And his beautiful full eyelashes.
Oh, there is an image of this man.
Really?
That I will show you at the end of this, and you will have to put in the video.
No, absolutely. And he won't be in the thumbnail. He will only be a gift for those who have listened to the tale of I-Man.
Yes, you have to learn the lore of I-Man in order to see him.
It's important.
The children explore the dream world, with I-Man never far behind them. When a child
he's a friend.
When a child draws verbal attention to the stalking cyclops, the creature will lunge out and devour the child before returning to the shadows.
Oh
so
my
maybe
God.
not a friend.
He just doesn't want to be perceived, and you know what? I feel that.
I relate deeply to I-Man, and I don't know if I'm concerned or kind of comforted. I feel seen.
I'm what's the three emotions? I'm wizened, despaired, and passionate.
Yeah. This happens for what feels like hours. Upon awakening, it's like they never fell asleep. The dreams occur repeatedly for months, every single night. During the day, I-Man becomes an omnipresent background character in their life, hiding in dark corners of a room or under the bed. But they remind themselves that he isn't real, that I-Man is just a guy in a costume or a puppet, and they fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
For most I-Man accounts, that's where the story ends.
Ah.
After hundreds of vivid, lifelike nightmares, I-Man suddenly disappears. They don't think about I-Man for decades before stumbling on a forum post about identifying the Cyclops from Star Wars. Then it all comes flooding back. One forum post built upon another.
Oh my
From
God.
website to website, witnesses began connecting with each other and forming tightly knit private communities and chat rooms to discuss the phenomenon of I-Man.
And so Wikipedia was born.
If you know where to look, you'll find them.
I guess just look it up, right?
You just Google
Yeah.
I-Man. I love all of this talk about, like, it following you through your days, and then it's just like, yeah, I forgot about it, and then I went on Reddit one day, and suddenly I was traumatized again.
That's maybe my favorite thing about bad creepypastas is that there's very often a part, like, there's this just ridiculously traumatizing thing that these, like, children saw on, like, a TV show or in, like, a movie or whatever, and then they just fucking, like, well, whatever, I don't remember that anymore for 20 years.
Yeah. It's like, well, might as well make a Reddit post about it when I'm 23.
Yeah.
Remember this childhood trauma?
Yeah.
If you post about I-Man, they'll find you.
Who's they? I-Man's fucking militia?
I guess he has, like, a cult.
I-Man's hit squad.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, fuck.
Nope.
There's gotta be a pun in there. So I'm gonna keep thinking about it. Keep going.
It's I-Man's eyes on the ground.
Damn it! Yeah, that's it.
No consensus has ever been reached through these discussions, however, nor any evidence of I-Man's existence has been found.
So how do you know
Which
they
is
get
just-
him?
Which is honestly just any, like, online forum community is no consensus has ever been reached, nor any evidence found. Like, just...
No information has ever been recorded.
Yeah. This is all for naught.
Yeah, I'm just talking out of my ass here.
All that remains are the harrowing stories told by an aging user base on a private IRC server.
Mean.
And that's all there will ever be. When it comes to I-Man. I'm sorry. Oh, God.
You know, when it comes to I-Man,
Let me say the sentence to you, Brian, because
yeah.
it's a good one.
I'm ready.
When it comes to I-Man, closure is not an option.
You know what? Fair. Yeah, that's true. God, don't I know it, you know?
But I was never satisfied with that. My story is different. And for the first time, I will tell it.
Okay.
Where I branch off from other witnesses is that I saw something tangible.
His eye?
And that's where I will leave you.
Oh,
we will get
shit.
into the deeper lore of I-Man when Nolan joins us back on the podcast.
That's so good. Nolan will tell his tale of
Are
how
you-
he
are
met the
you-
I-Man.
Yeah, precisely. Are you
Excellent.
ready to see I-Man?
Yes I am. Please.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Do you see him?
What is that? What?
This is a mock-up model of I-Man created by a member of a private forum. It appears to be a hand-painted sculpture of some sort that looks absolutely fucking wild.
It's like a Play-Doh sculpture of a cyclops with a big beard, a big honkin' beard, and just a delightful face.
It's like somebody tried to sculpt like a lumberjack friend, but then just gave him one eye and the weirdest mouth.
It's like someone tried to sculpt Joseph from the Bible, but forgot how many eyes he had.
Yeah, this is just one-eyed Joseph, you know?
He's a real one-eyed Joseph to me.
Uh-huh. I think Joseph is a better name for I-Man.
I think that is his real name. So I guess we'll pick this up week after next. I guess next week will be a full episode, and then I-Man will return.
The suspense will keep you hanging in the balance.
Oh my god, incredible! Okay, thank you so much for this.
I'm glad I could bestow this gift upon you, and I cannot wait to finish the story because holy shit, I-Man is my favorite thing that I've found in several weeks. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at GhoulSchoolPod. If you have a suggestion, you can email it to us at ghoulschoolofficial@gmail.com.
Yeah.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, all that good stuff. Please rate us on Apple Podcasts. It actually does help us out a lot.
Yeah.
And lastly, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel where Brian puts up video edits and stuff of our podcast, and it kind of rules.
Yeah, come see I-Man. Come see him.
Come see I-Man.
And share your fan art.
Even if you don't usually, if you're not a YouTube listener, I recommend you go open the YouTube video. Our channel is just Ghoul School. It's in our link tree.
Yeah.
Just, you have to see I-Man. I promise you.
You simply must see the I-Man.
Lay your eyes on this beautiful one-eyed man.
All right, bye.
Bye.